Welcome, Maverick fans, to our first edition of the Checkdown with Coach Russell Mitchell. A few introductions here before we get started. Kind of want to talk a little bit about what we're going to try to pull off, and understand this: there will be a lot of mistakes, but we're excited about the opportunity each week to bring Coach Mitchell to you and let him answer some questions about previous game from the week before, and then also lead us into the game that we're playing the current week. I want to introduce a couple guys to you. First of all, one that you hear a lot of but you don't ever see, and that's Mr. Jared Schatz, voice of the Mavericks. So Jared, thank you for being here.
Yeah, I kind of preferred they not see me. We could keep it that way, but
well, you know, I understand how that goes. I've got a face for radio myself. Coach Russell Mitchell, you see a lot of him, but you don't get to hear much from him. So kind of the opposite there. So Coach, thank you for taking out time out of your day to come in and do this, and we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, appreciate y'all doing it to help promote our team and our athletes, and I think it's going to be a good thing.
A lot of thank yous that we want to give out, because something of this magnitude is not easy to pull off, and it takes a lot of people inside the school building in order to do that. First, want to thank Coach Sid Lambert, who is our sports information director, and he's behind the camera. Coach Lambert, can you hear what was going on?
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for everything that you do, production you put on each Friday night with the live stream, and we've added one more thing to your list, as if you didn't have enough. We created a sports marketing class, and Coach comes in, and can you talk a little bit about what you're doing in there, teaching these kids about video production, taking it from the camera to social media?
Sure. Well, a lot of things that I do is I'm working with the students that are doing the broadcast development, so we'll take them and bring all this raw video that we're shooting in and get them into the software programs that allows them to edit those. If we bring in green screen videos, showing them how to remove those green screens from the backgrounds and put some overlays on top of those, and then trim the videos, cut them, edit them, and get them into a sequence where they're a little bit better to deal with, and produce our final product.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate that. I want to also thank Dana Kinsley, our social media coordinator, and Dana coordinates a lot. She, within our athletic department, she coordinates Coach Perry, Coach Mitchell, and myself, Coach Hardy, on a daily basis. So we thank her for everything that she does. She takes what we're producing in class in sports marketing, and then also what she produces on her own, a lot of hours that go into that behind the scenes, and gets that out on our social media websites, and keeps everyone in Germantown zone aware of what's going on inside of our Maverick athletic programs. Left Coach Hawkins back at the school today while we came and filmed this, but he's in charge of our graphic design team, and he takes those kids and they work on game day posts and a lot of the things, Jared, I know that we'll get to later. I know you're going to talk to some kids from that class, and the things that you see out there on social media, a lot of the game day posts, a lot of the announcements made through our Mavs Booster Club, all those type things are done in that class with the graphic design team, and thank Coach Hawkins for that. Obviously, we have to thank our athletic director, Coach Greg Perry, and our principal, Mr. Cody Zumbro. Without their support, you're just not able to do things like this. And you know, most places this is something that's done on the side, so to speak, maybe outside of class, but being able to find time and make the effort to put a class inside the daily school day that promotes and not only our kids and our students, but it promotes our athletes and our coaches and everyone that's involved within Germantown athletic program. I also like to thank John McMillan, General Manager here at Deviney Rental, where we're located today. Thank him for hosting us, having us here, and hopefully when John slows down a little bit, maybe he'll be able to come out from the back towards the end and meet with us and talk with us, and we'll get to thank him there in person. I want to be sure to keep up Germantown Athletics through our social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. You can find us there at GHS Mavericks. And then also just added by none other than Dana Kinsley, is our YouTube account that you can check out videos that we've done, just like the one here with Coach Mitchell that we'll have on there shortly, hopefully in the next few days. And then also our new Meet the Mavs episodes that we put out. We put out 2 so far. Kids in social and sports marketing have helped put those out along with Coach Lambert's guidance, and we're very proud of those, but we'll archive those and keep those into that YouTube account there. You can find that by searching on YouTube at Germantown Maverick Athletics. And you'll get all kind of videos throughout the year that are associated with Germantown Athletics. We're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors, and when we come back, we are going to get to meet some of our students in the sports marketing class. Jared had a chance to talk to them, and we want to hear from them. And then we'll also be able to hear from Coach Mitchell along with one of our senior football players, Trey Stevenson. So we'll be back in 1 minute.
At Davini Equipment, community matters. We're the hometown name you can trust, serving the community for over 50 years. As one of the oldest Kubota dealers in the U.S., we've been selling tough, durable equipment for residential and commercial buyers. Davini and Kubota are synonymous for quality and dependability. We're locally owned and operated, so when you come to Davini, we'll treat you like family. Come see us at Davini Equipment with 2 locations in Madison and Jackson.
Mac Haik in Madison Gluckstadt is your #1 source for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Mac Haik in Madison Gluckstadt is not just a dealership, it's your dealership with great deals on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chevrolet, be it new or pre-owned inventory. Mac Haik in Madison Gluckstadt wants to take you to the ball game on Fridays, the trips on the weekend, and get you home safely on a daily basis. Learn more today at MacHikeMadison.com. You want a deal? Come get one in Madison Gluckstadt. Proud sponsor of Germantown Athletics. Go Mavs!
Welcome back to Davini Tractor, the oldest Kubota tractor dealer in the country. Jared Schatz back with you. 2 special guests, Jansen Dillard and Davis Leak. And you guys are in the sports media class, and it's an honor to have you on. You make us look good each and every Friday night with all the behind-the-scenes things that you guys do. Let's start with you, Davis. Tell us, what you guys do behind the scenes and what your job is.
All right, so basically we have this show called Meet the Mavs, or Maverick Media, and basically it's like an ESPN for Germantown. So we have a couple of guys and we do an interview, and we'll interview the coaches, we'll show our teams, who's on our teams, what's going on in the week. We'll just introduce all the sports to you. So it's an easier way to track what's going on with Germantown sports.
You're a big sports guy, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is something right up your alley, probably very enjoyable.
Yes.
And you, tell me about it. And your name is Jansen Dillard, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you do behind the scenes?
So basically, the clips that they do, we go through and we check them or we edit them, as well as we crop down videos for athletic teams in Germantown, like cheers, soccer, football, things like that. And we just kind of get the media out there and, make it good for everybody to see.
So do you go home and tell everybody you did that when they see it?
Yes, because I really like it. It makes me proud to see that I'm contributing, and it's just good. It just brings good. I'm putting something good out there for everybody to enjoy, and it's satisfying to see your work come together.
So what made you guys sign up for this class? I know we're trying to grow it. It's a great tool to try to get younger kids to see what we're doing, you guys are doing, to get them involved. What really drew you to the class?
Well, at first, I wasn't intending to do sports marketing, and when I got there, they kind of already had their goals set, and it was kind of scary. They didn't make it scary. It was just really me, because I'm not good with technology at all. I'm the worst person to ask. So I really didn't think I could do it. But then they worked with us. They saw potential in us. They told us we're not going to be perfect, and it's better to learn in that room that we're, doing all of our stuff in better than outside in the real world and messing up. So we get to, mess up and get it together. And I just learned a lot. They taught me how to use certain apps and things like that to, make the videos what they are. And yeah, it's just fun.
You're an ROTC as well?
Yes, sir.
You're a busy girl.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate your contributions.
Thank you.
So where does this go from here? Do you guys think you'll be in some kind of news media role going forward?
I'm open to it, honestly. I think it'd be really cool to do it for college or something.
Mm-hmm.
it'd just be a fun hobby to do, or maybe even a job in the future. I really like it, so we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. We appreciate you guys joining us, and we'll have some more of your classmates on in the future. But Jansen Dillard and Davis Leak, appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
We'll be right back in just a moment here on the Maverick Media Network.
At Davini Equipment, community matters. We're the hometown name you can trust, serving the community for over 50 years. As one of the oldest Kubota dealers in the U.S., we've been selling tough, durable equipment for residential and commercial buyers. Davini and Kubota are synonymous for quality and dependability. We're locally owned and operated, so when you come to Davini, we'll treat you like family. Come see us at Davini Equipment, with 2 locations in Madison and Jackson.
Community isn't defined by street names, city blocks, or country miles. It's not the population size or even state championships. People build community.
Good luck out there today.
Thanks, Catherine.
And our community is thriving. Community Bank, committed to our community.
Welcome back, everyone. Back at Davini Tractor here on Highway 51. Come find all your Kubota needs. I recommend the skid steer for you guys. You got any home projects? I've used it nicely at my house. Welcome back, and Coach Mitchell with us to our left, and Trey Stevenson. Man, you've started now your 3rd year of starting at wide receiver. It's been a tremendous year for you to start out against Northwest Rankin. 3 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty good to start things out. Talk about your time here at Germantown.
It's been a great time, long journey. Before I came, I used to go to Terry, just transfer from Germantown. It's been a good place to turn up and do better, stuff like that.
So you've started, this is your 3rd year of starting, not only for yourself, that's a big achievement, but for the younger guys to really set that foundation and really lead by example. Talk a little bit about that. You're now an upperclassman, you've got guys below you looking up to you.
Yeah, I've been an upperclassman. I've been a leader to everybody. Everybody look up to me because, like, I'm the most talented in my school. Like, all these catches, everybody going around the school talking about try you head by a king, all stuff like that. Yeah.
Every time the ball's in the air and I'm calling one of the Germantown games, and especially when you're one-on-one, I always feel like you're going to come down with it. And I know you feel that way. You're a confident guy. You feel like it's one-on-one, that you've really got a good matchup that you like.
Yeah, it's just natural to me, natural habits. Just training, working out, just natural to catching the ball in my hands.
Talk about Keyshawn Coleman coming in. A lot of people would say, I don't really know about this. That's another guy that's going to get targets. But a good way to look at that, a positive way to look at it, is they can't really focus on either one of you guys, and it's going to open things up for you this year.
They can't guard both of us. Like, me and him are both 6 foot plus. We're good athletes. Came from private school. He had like 1,000 receiving yards. He's a good athlete. He can help me. He can help his team make it to the state and more.
So you committed to South Alabama. That's a program that's really on the rise down in Mobile. Talk a little bit about that and that process.
The reason I committed to South Alabama because I feel like they got a good passing team. A lot of their seniors are leaving this year, so like it'll be better for me to get reps in, start, all of that. But Coach Trino, he's a good receiver coach. Coach Applewhite, he's a good coach. He had lots of history. He played in college and then went to the NFL. But yeah, the whole city and town is a good place to be around, good community, stuff like that.
Well, South Alabama getting a good player. Let's talk about the rest of this year. Game 2 against Canton. A lot of athleticism on the field for the Tigers, especially in the secondary. What are your goals to finish out this year for Germantown? I know you want to get a district championship, make a run at state, but talk a little bit about that.
My goals for this year, I just really want to win every game we can possibly win and go to playoffs, win the most games that matter to us, and just go to be state championships. Because I'm used to, like, from Terry, like, we're used to losing and stuff. Like, I just want to be on a winning team, winning organization.
Coach, talk about this young man. He started for you 3 years, and he's been an awfully big playmaker at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, that's an understatement. You know, Trey's made plays for us consistently since his sophomore year. He does a lot to affect the defense. You know, you're talking about having to give a guy safety help. It opens up other players, opens up the run game, and he's a catalyst that helps us move the ball for sure.
We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we will have coaches sit down talking about last week's win against Northwest Rankin and tonight's ball game against the Canton Tigers. We'll be right back on the Maverick Media Network.
At Davini Equipment, community matters. We're the hometown name you can trust, serving the community for over 50 years. As one of the oldest Kubota dealers in the U.S., we've been selling tough, durable equipment for residential and commercial buyers. Davini and Kubota are synonymous for quality and dependability. We're locally owned and operated, so when you come to Davini, we'll treat you like family. Come see us at Davini Equipment with 2 locations in Madison and Jackson.
At Priority One Bank, we believe in being there for our neighbors. That's why our local lending decisions are made right here by people who understand the community. We know your name, your story, and we're here to help you reach your goals. And when it comes to technology, we've got everything you need, from mobile banking to advanced security, so you can bank when and where it's convenient for you. Priority One Bank, where your hometown meets modern banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome, everyone. It's the Coaches Show, the Coaches Road Show, as we call it, as we are live from Davini Tractor and Rental right here on Highway 51, the oldest Kubota dealer in the country. So if you need a tractor guy, this is the place to come. Jonathan McMillan and guys do a great job. Jared Schatz, Coach Hardy, Coach Russ Mitchell, and recapping what we saw last Friday night against the Northwest Rankin Cougars. And, Coach, a big win coming out of the gate, 46-21. We'll talk about the game, but what about the atmosphere as well? Reminded me, some of the old guys like myself, everybody at this table, reminded me of a 90s football game. The whole town was there. Not everybody was sitting at the house, but the stands were full. The tailgate section was full, but more importantly, the Mavericks come up with a big win against Northwest Rankin.
Yeah, it was an exciting environment for sure. You know, it's always nice to look out there and see a packed stadium and let you know what kind of community support we've got and what Northwest Rankin's got, because it was a good crowd on both sides, and we're happy with the outcome. Certainly, there's plenty of things to clean up that we've noticed on the film, but you can't beat 1-0. That was the goal, and so we're hoping to build off of that and go 1-0 again this week.
A lot of penalties in the first half. I don't know what you said at halftime, but the numbers I got in the second half were no penalties. So what was it going into the locker room up 24-21? You block the punt, you get the field goal, you go to the locker room. Did you peel any paint off the wall? What was it? Because I thought that was the most dominating second half we've seen since you've been at Germantown. Yeah,
we played a lot better in the second half for sure. And, you know, I thought the beginning of the game felt a lot like last year when we went over there and jumped out to a 14-0 lead and then ultimately lost the game 35-28. And, you know, we opened the game with a stop on defense, got the ball back, went right down, executed and scored, jumped out 14-0. They came back, tied it up. So it started just like the game last year, and but things got kind of sloppy in the second quarter. I thought the refs called the game pretty tight as far as pass interference. There was we had a couple of holding calls, and had a self-inflicted unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which is unacceptable. And we just asked the guys to clean it up, you know, at halftime, and explain to them that, you know, if we want to get the outcome we wanted, we had to be more disciplined and do things the right way, and they responded to that. We changed what we were doing on defense a little bit, and you know, played a little more zone coverage in the second half. And, but credit our assistant coaches. They made some really good adjustments. Coach Shearer noticed some things that were going on with their defense that affected the way we called plays, and some of the things we were doing offensively that allowed us to get some run game going. And I thought that was the biggest difference, rushing for 200-plus yards in the second half, and then starting the second half with 4 straight 3-and-outs was big. And so if you can run the ball and stop the other team, that's an old recipe for winning, and hopefully it's something that'll follow us, you know, throughout the year. If we can run the ball and play good defense with the playmakers we've got on the outside that we can throw it to, it can be a fun year.
Yeah, and you hit on it. We had the big explosive plays in the first half. We, you know, basically throw it up to our big wide receivers. They came down with it. It was the ground and pound attack there in the second half with good defense. So we really saw 2 games in one, but being an offensive guy, you got to be proud that you can march the football methodically and take the top off the defense.
Yeah, that was big, you know. And sometimes the run sets up the pass, and sometimes the pass sets up the run. And sometimes, you know, spending the time I spent at Picayune, sometimes it feels backwards when the pass sets up the run. But that's what happened in this game. So
well, we are old school here.
Right? We just try to take what the defense gives us.
Something that, you brought up a big point that I don't want to get overlooked. You mentioned last year's game, 35-28 score, and you and I talked a lot last year about taking that step forward and finishing ball games. And I think, as you put it, I'm tired of being close. And talk a little bit about how, as opposed to last year, we got over that hump towards the end and were able to win some of those one-possession games. But to win one right out of the gates like that, to go ahead and finish a game and completely command the game when the horn goes off, to get that out of the way in week one, how important is that moving forward?
It felt good, I thought we won all three phases. That's another way we try to break it down for the kids, is try to win on offense, defense, and special teams. Usually if you get 2 out of 3, you can win the game. But anytime you got a blocked punt, Ken Francis blocked a punt right there before halftime that gave us the lead and a little bit of momentum going into half. Keyshawn Coleman had the big kickoff return for a touchdown. So far, Simon's kicked it in the end zone every time we've kicked off. And then he hit a field goal, and he's made every extra point he's attempted. So we feel good about our special teams. And like I said, our defense rallied to the ball. We started 3 sophomore offensive linemen, and they took hold of the game in the second half. So there's a lot of encouraging things went on in the game. But like I said, we've got to find a way to get better. We're not going to be satisfied with one win. I think that's been part of the mentality problem you talked about in the past, is just being so satisfied with yourself that you let your foot off the gas. So we're gonna keep the hammer down and keep working every day to get better. And I think we've got a good young team that's gonna be exciting to watch.
Coach, I thought one of the keys in the ball game, and you talked about the refs calling the pass interference pretty tight, which they did, but shut down Deshaun Dillon in the second half. I know he had a big catch on a slant route for a touchdown, but that kid ate our lunch a year ago, and we really just shut him down and the whole offense down in the second half. The defensive performance, to me, above all, was something that really stood out.
Right, yeah. We had Michael Johnson following him around the whole first half, and I thought Mikey did a good job with him. Like I said, a couple of flags that I disagreed with. I'm a little biased, but we were playing tight man-to-man coverage on him, and second half we decided to loosen up a little bit and give him some safety help. And in doing that, we were still able to stop the run. So once we gave him some safety help and didn't get the flags, and our defensive line and linebackers did a good job of stopping the run and containing them in that way. Banks Polk ended up with 7 tackles. Parker McGehee ended up with 7 tackles. Dylan Travis did a good job controlling double teams at nose. Jaden Gross had a big interception that I thought was a game-changing play. And that's the reason why we had the outcome we had. So pleased with our effort. I think the kids' heart is in the right place. They're playing as a team. But we're going into week 2, and we want to be good week 15. So we got to find ways to continue to improve on that momentum.
Germantown gets the win 46-21 over Northwest Rankin. And next up, the Canton Tigers on the road right down the street. We'll talk about it when we come back right here on the Maverick Media Network.
At Davini Equipment, community matters. We're the hometown name you can trust, serving the community for over 50 years. As one of the oldest Kubota dealers in the U.S., we've been selling tough, durable equipment for residential and commercial buyers. Davini and Kubota are synonymous for quality and dependability. We're locally owned and operated, so when you come to Davini, we'll treat you like family. Come see us at Davini Equipment, with 2 locations in Madison and Jackson.
When I got hurt, our first call was Dr. Burrow with sports medicine. I was like, Dr. Burrow, I need you to help me get back on the field as fast as possible. And he did that.
7 years ago, my sophomore year of high school, I tore my ACL and meniscus. That's something that I'll always appreciate, is just how much they helped us get back on the field and play the sport that we love.
Welcome back to Davini Tractor right here on Highway 51 in Gluckstadt. Proud sponsor of Germantown Athletics. I want to thank Jonathan McMillan and the gang for letting us come and have our nice coaches interview and interview some of our students here as well. Jared Schatz, Coach Mitchell, Coach Hardy, and Coach finishing up, talk about the Canton Tigers. Football team that's always athletic, a lot of speed, What do you see that maybe concerns you, or what are some of the challenges when you turn on the film on the Canton Tigers?
Yeah, they're explosive. You know, they got a quarterback, number 7. He runs around and makes plays, and he can score from anywhere on the field with his arm or his legs. So they're going to prevent some challenges for us defensively. They like to spread the field. Got playmakers on the outside. The main thing is going to be keeping him contained, not letting him hurt us with his legs, and not giving up the big plays. We want to make them drive the ball, sustain a 12, 15-play drive, and if they earn it, we'll tip our hat to them. But if we can stay away from those explosive plays, that's going to be the key for our defense.
Yeah, they beat Velma Jackson a week ago. Velma Jackson, I know they're a 1A team, but they won North State last year. Pretty good football team. I should say they're in South State, but a very challenging game that Canton did not win a year ago. They won it last week. They beat Murrah in the Jamboree, so they're riding high right now. Coach, you may have had a question regarding the Canton Tigers.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk a little bit more maybe about the quarterback, Coach. I know he's going to be a guy that's, you know, going to get out and look for some space, try to find some space. Probably being as athletic as he is, will be able to create his own space at times. It's not an era, obviously, anymore where it's fun to be a defensive coordinator. I know Coach Washington will have some trouble there, you know, trying to keep him contained, and I think that's the word you're probably going to go with is containment, because at the end of the day, when you have a guy that way, you know, that is that athletic, it does come down to just trying to kind of keep him roped up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that the challenge for a coach is if you got a guy and you say, okay, we don't want him to hurt us, you know, for the 50-yard scramble run for a touchdown, which is what he was doing against Velma on the film. You say, well, let's back up and keep him contained. If you give him too much space, you're going to miss him. So I think that's the question is, when do we take those chances and bring pressure to eliminate that space, and when do we sort of sit back and try to keep everything in front of us? And if we can keep them off balance in that way, we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, Coach Bolton been around a long time. He was the coordinator at Ridgeland for many moons and now been at Canton for several years. Always a fundamentally sound coach, and his teams play up to that standard. Special teams, though, Coach, it's not traditionally been a strong point of Canton. It looks like we have a big advantage in the special teams tonight.
Yeah, well, and that's the plan, is to make them punt and try to take advantage of the field position. That's part of the plan. And but again, Simon Naylor's such a weapon. When he puts it in the end zone, they have to start on the 20. That makes that field position battle tip in our favor. So we just need consistency out of Simon, and he's been that throughout the scrimmage and the first game. So he's a weapon for us, and we're proud to have him. Got to find ways to continue to make plays in the return game, which we did a good job of last week. But you got to adjust what you do, because they don't have a guy necessarily that's going to kick it to the 2 or the 3 or the 5. So the priority is getting the ball first of all, and then getting the best field position you can. And whenever you got a guy like Keyshawn that can take it all the way, then you'll take that too. But I think Canton's kickoff game's a little more unpredictable than what we were faced with Northwest Rankin. But we feel good about our special teams. Just got to go out there and execute.
Game 1 to game 2, you hear the old cliche, a team makes its most improvement, game 1 to game 2. What do you want to see out of your guys? Looking at the last ball game as a whole, a lot of penalties in the first half. You played really a great half of football in the second half. What do you want to see in game 2 overall?
Yeah, well, you hit the nail on the head. We got to eliminate the penalties. You know, there were times I didn't think that we did a good job of keeping Northwest Rankin guessing. There were a couple times where we were mugged up there, man-to-man coverage, bringing a blitz, and they took advantage of that with the no-huddle offense calling a play based on how we were lined up. So if we can do a better job of keeping them off balance, calling plays, and avoiding the penalties. And look, I can live with penalties if you're hustling, but I just, it's hard to tolerate the self-inflicted penalties. When you get a false start, when you jump off sides, when you get an unsportsmanlike conduct, when you block somebody in the back, those are self-inflicted penalties, and they're unforced, so to speak. You know, I can handle a pass interference when a cornerback's fighting his tail off to make a play on a ball. You're going to get some of those penalties. We can live with those. We just got to avoid the unforced penalties and be a disciplined football team.
Canton and Germantown about to kick off. We'll have the starting lineups and the kickoff in just a moment. Coach, best of luck tonight, and Coach Hardy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jerry.
Welcome to Timber Tavern Axe Throwing, the one and only spot for non-stop fun, delicious food, and epic axe throwing right here in town. Whether you're out for a wild night with friends, a one-of-a-kind date, or some serious team bonding, Timber Tavern is where the magic happens. New to axe throwing? Don't sweat it. Our expert instructors will have you hitting bullseyes in no time. So why wait? Come on down to Timber Tavern, Gluckstadt's own entertainment hub where unforgettable memories are made every day. Ready to join the fun? Visit us at timbertavernaxe.com or give us a call at 601-707-2580 to book your lane today.
At Davini Equipment, community matters. We're the hometown name you can trust, serving the community for over 50 years. As one of the oldest Kubota dealers in the U.S., we've been selling tough, durable equipment for residential and commercial buyers. Davini and Kubota are synonymous for quality and dependability. We're locally owned and operated, so when you come to Davini, we'll treat you like family. Come see us at Davini Equipment, with 2 locations in Madison and Jackson.
Welcome back. We are about to wrap things up here on our first edition of the Checkdown with Coach Mitchell. But before we go, we've got 2 very special guests we're joined by, and we want to introduce them to you. First of all, we've got our athletic director here at Germantown High School, Coach Greg Perry. And we've got Mr. John McMillan, the general manager here at the store, Davini Supply and Rental. And John, we can't thank you enough for having us over here today. We appreciate
Glad you guys came out.
Appreciate you having us, and hopefully we get to come back and do this again. Don't kick us out right off the bat.
Absolutely. It's good. It's good. Been good.
Again, want to talk a little bit about the history here between Germantown and Davini. And Coach Perry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it goes back as far as when the doors opened.
14 years ago, as far as I can remember. And, Jonathan has been a steady force in with their sponsorships and basically anything we need at Germantown High School, Jonathan then steps up and does for us. So excited to be here.
Jonathan, talk a little bit about how important it is on your side. We look at it from a school side, and we know that you and I have talked a lot about how school and business, especially when it's the local school and the local business, have to have that type of relationship. Talk about how important it is from your business side.
I mean, from my standpoint, with you guys, it was a no-brainer whenever the school first opened up. That's been, I guess, it's 14 years. 14 years ago. Of course, Dr. McGehee, I think he was superintendent at the time. We had a relationship, came up, kind of introduced, got me over there, and I believe it was Coach Ceramic, Tim Ceramic at the time was the AD and head coach, and met him, and we just hit it off. And for us here at the store at Davini, it is so important, obviously, to build relationships. Because it starts there, and from there, you're reaching out to your local community, and it is absolutely utterly important for us to have that at like a ground level, like at a school level, because you guys are the foundation of our entire community. So
that's what we were talking about on the phone this morning.
Total foundation. It starts with you guys, and I think from us, it's a no-brainer to partner up with you guys. So.
Yeah, and I'm glad our students were able to be here today to kind of see a little bit about how business and high schools have to work together a lot of times, especially sharing the community the way that we do. I've been here the entire time too, the 14 years, and I can't tell you the number of times Coach Perry or myself or going back to Coach Ceramic, we just have to pick the phone up and call John, because he'll take care of it. He can help us on not only on the project, but certainly will help with an easier way to do it. And we want to thank you for all the times that you've bailed us out of a lot of long hours.
Like I said, my deal with you guys is all the answer is always yes. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make it happen, because you guys are so important to us, what y'all do. And like I said, it's you guys are the pillar and the backbone of this entire community. So it's obviously a pleasure, not only for me, but my entire crew. To help you guys, whatever y'all need, and it goes beyond just a business thing. We're friends. Y'all call me.
Right.
This goes way beyond just strictly business, and I appreciate the friendship with all y'all throughout the years.
Well, look, we can't get out of here without a chance for you to promote your store. You guys do a variety of different things. I know that most every time I'm in here, you're either talking about football or talking about hunting season. And speaking of hunting season, it's coming right up.
Man, it's going to feel good this weekend. I know we got some 55-degree weather. Ball game Friday night is going to be nice.
What all you got back there for the deer hunters that might be interested in getting some food?
Well, obviously we are the oldest Kubota deal in the U.S. So we've been doing it, like we say, better, longer than anybody else in the country. So, from first and foremost, that's our top of the line product that we've got. And, if you're going out this weekend, getting ready to get the food plots ready to go. We're about to start planting some food plots, so we've got everything you need here. If you want to buy it, rent it. That means if you're trying to get out there and get your tractor and a cutter, a tractor and a disc, or spreader, we've got everything you need right here for all your food plot, deer camp needs. And then, from on a construction standpoint too, there's a ton of, which fortunately I know you guys are doing some projects over school.
Yeah.
So, we like to think that, our local construction folks, whether that be residential or commercial, we can help you guys out with all your construction needs from a skid steer to excavator. There again, we rent and sell all those too. So, yeah.
Well, again, we thank you so much for having us, and we want to continue, our partnership, sponsorship, relationship. Like you said, it touches on a lot of different levels. And you guys have always been there for us, and we're certainly
we're here. Y'all are the backbone of the community.
The opportunity to come visit with you guys. That's going to wrap things up for this first edition of the Checkdown with Coach Mitchell. We appreciate you watching our show. We hope you enjoyed our show. We hope you'll tune in next week to our next show. We'd like to again thank John McMillan, his wonderful team here at Deviney Rental and Supply, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. And remember, nothing brings us together quite like Maverick Athletics.
At Deviney Equipment, community matters. We're the hometown name you can trust, serving the community for over 50 years. As one of the oldest Kubota dealers in the U.S., we've been selling tough, durable equipment for residential and commercial buyers. Deviney and Kubota are synonymous for quality and dependability. We're locally owned and operated, so when you come to Deviney, we'll treat you like family. Come see us at Deviney Equipment with 2 locations in Madison and Jackson.